All right, second story for the day. Disney backlash. So Disney has backtracked after Snow White anti-woke campaign backlash. So what happened was we got these photos from the set of Snow White, and a lot of people have gone through, and at the time they so it was mostly the guys like over at Geeks and Gamers and all those sort of guys who got access to these photos and posted it, and they were basically lambasted as being a conspiracy theorist, and Disney came out and said that these were not set photos and blah 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 blah, tried to make them all look out to be like they were stupid. The only problem was that they were real set photos, and that the guys were actually right when they actually went through and posted them. So it kind of went bad for Snow White. So they might have none of these are going to have a non-biased opinion, are they? So politically correct Snow White photo sparks backlash. Is this the photo or? Yeah, so this is the first controversy they got themselves into, was over the actress. But then we had these photos, like I said, that came out. Yeah, and oh, by the way, it gets worse because they're now renamed the dwarfs to magical creatures. We'll get to that too, don't worry. Let's see if bounding into comics has something. Just trying to see. I presume they broke it down yesterday. Here we are. Alright, so this was the original story that came out. I've got to fix my mouse. First set photos of Disney's live-action Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs remake are as destroyers, whatever, as expected. Obtained by UK publication company Click News and Media, shared the local news outlet the Daily Mail on the 14th of July. Photos provided audience with their first glimpses at the Disney princess's 7 iconic companions. Though Snow White and Jonathan, the Robin Hood-esque character replacement for the prince, can also be seen in the photos, they're being portrayed by stand-ins rather than the retrospective actors. So apparently it's Shazam's Fury of the Gods star Rachel Zelda, and Under the Banner of Heaven actor Andrew Burnip. Depicting the film's core set of protagonists walking through a field, in the most noticeable aspect of behind-the-scenes shot is the fact that the so-called Seven Dwarfs are anything but. Rather, they are now suitably diverse in appearance, with their heights ranging and the gamut from the singular running the gauntlet from the singular actual little person that being Pirates of the Caribbean franchise stars matches to various size issues. Right, so instead of having dwarfs, they now have regular sized humans. I believe they do have one dwarf though, so you know. Cool. Check it out. Further, the visual diversity also extends the group's innumerable traits, such as their skin and gender. Rather than being a uniform group of white male dwarfs, shard a tribe informed by the original garment, German folk, Snow White's saviors are now also dark men and women. Because diversity boxes. Well, that's true too, actually. When you go woke, you pretty much offend everybody. Although the cast of the group of the Merry Forest Dwellers has yet to be fully revealed, Disney thus far has confirmed that the aforementioned Kabbalah will be playing Grumpy, while actress Someone will be making her cinematic debut as one of the black female newcomers, Maple. Now, like I said, the thing is that they came out and they claimed that these photos were not real, that they were fake. Well, they're not actually telling the truth on that, because they've now had to walk it back and have actually admitted, no, they are actually from the set, but they're not real because we had stand-ins, apparently. So while the executive photos are from the set of Disney's live-action adaptation Snow White leaked last week, the internet reacted like someone had poisoned their apple, because people are sick of this stuff. The pictures, published by the Daily Mail, feature Snow White accompanied not by 7 little men, but by actors of different genders, ethnicities, and heights. Snow White and the 7 politically correct companions, pretty accurate actually, quickly made waves online. Conservative criticised the woke update. Then a Disney representative told the Daily Beast that the photos were fake and not from our production. Yeah. Or you can post it in here, actually. You should be able to post it in... DM me on Twitter. I'll check it out. I'll be interested, Checkbot, yeah. Fake and not from our production. Disney later reversed the claim and told the Daily Beast that the photos were from the set of Snow White, though they were not official photos. Okay, but that's not what you claimed. You claimed that they were fake and not from our production. But they are from your production. Like... adding to the confusion, the original Daily Mail article numerously reported that actors Rachel Zelda, slated to portray the fairest of them all, and Andrew Bunup were pictured. Gal Gadot is set to play the evil queen. It was Gazer and Bunup's stand-ins who were in the shot. Elsewhere on the internet, conservatives have made it clear they do not welcome the inclusive update to Disney's first princess. I must admit, though, she is hot. 7 white and a dwarf and some weirdos. I like that. Look, at the end of the day, if this is going anything by, like, any of the Disney stuff that's come out lately, you know, like Indiana Jones or The Little Mermaid, you'd smash her. Me too, actually. She's kind of hot. Any of that sort of stuff. Like, if any of this is a example of what not to do, they obviously haven't listened, because they've just dived straight into it yet again. You know, at the end of the day, the only question really we have to ask about this is, how much money is this going to lose? Like we've covered it several times here on the channel. You look at things like, for example, you look at Box Office Mojo, and like Dial of Dysentery has gone through, and what's the box office for Indiana Jones now? Like, the movie is constantly getting beaten by Mission Impossible and Sound of Freedom. Geez, it's only made 1.5 million yesterday. Holy dooly. So at the moment, worldwide, it's sitting at $305 million. Now, it costs about $300 million to make it. So there's that. You've got about 100 to 150 million in marketing. So add that on top. So you're looking at about 450 million. And then the box office takes, at the very least, half, right? I know in some places it's worse than that, worse than that for the studios. But let's just be generous and let's say they get half the money, right? So if your production costs you 450 million to make the show, you're going to have to bank 900 million to break even. And at the moment, it's sitting at 305 million. They've lost about $600 million in this. And you can see here, it's going down. Like, you know, it made 23 million here on Friday. Then the next Friday, it's down to 7 million. And then the next Friday, it's after 3 million. Like, you know, and since then, 3, 4, 4, 1.5. Like, look at the red. This is since last week. You know, compare that to like, and like Mission Impossible, for example, right? You know, it's like making like $5 million or $16 million a day. Now, obviously, Mission Impossible needs to do a lot better as well to make money. But generally, Tom Cruise has better legs than Disney. But like you look at like Sound of Freedom, for example, right? The little indie film that could. And you look at this. This is bucking the trend. This is increasing since last week. Like, it's made $90 million worldwide. And that's just domestic markets. It cost them $15 million to make it. They've made more than their money back. I thought it was 5 originally. I heard today 15, so somewhere between 5 to 15. But you look at the trends here. This is bucking this is increasing over the weeks. And you go back to, you know, the little diverse characters of Disney, and no one's going to go and watch. I won't say no one, but the vast majority of people aren't going to be interested in watching this shit. People are going to look at this and go, what the hell did you do to my show? And it's ironic because the same people that are sitting there saying, we need a diverse crowd to make our film and to make our movie, are the same ones that saying they related to Snow White when they were a kid. This movie star, the bangable one, she turned around and she said that when she was a kid, she watched Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and she related to it. It made her want to grow up to be Snow White. So your whole argument is basically saying that we need diverse characters because we need to relate to them, even though we related to them back in the day when they weren't the same race as us. You're shooting your own argument in the foot. So if you can relate to Snow White as a kid when she's white and you're mixed race, why can't kids relate to Indiana Jones being a white male, or James Bond being a white male, or whatever it may be? Why do we need to race swap and gender swap characters then? But anyway, Jeff put in chat, commercial suicide, so no one will watch movies. Exactly right. We've already seen the box office take like massive hits over the past couple of years. Now, they've always blamed that it's COVID, right? Oh, you know, no, it's COVID. Oh, it's COVID. No one wants to go and see a movie during COVID. Sure. But COVID's pretty much over and done with. You know, like Top Gun made $1 billion when COVID was still somewhat of a thing. You look at Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning is making $5 million a day. Elementals is making Elementals is making almost as much as Indiana Jones, and Elemental's been out for weeks. Here it is here. Look at it. And even that is doing bad. Elementals worldwide made $300 million. Holy dooly, that's bad. Because I know it costs a lot more than that to make it. But anyway, they'll keep banging their heads. And, you know, they'll keep putting out Snow White and diverse characters. No one will go and see it. But let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below.